All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. Sorry, I'm starting it up a couple minutes late from the stream, but we are here. Oh, today we have jobless claims, unemployment. We have jobless claims, unemployment. We have retail sales data. You can see the SPYs, we're basically flat right now. SPY slightly green on the day, but we're essentially flat. NVIDIA went all the way up to this 173.46 level, which was the previous all-time high this morning. So NVIDIA did break all-time highs this morning, but then retraced back down. We are now slightly under that level, but close enough. If I put a 5-minute chart on, you can kind of see it. Yeah, NVIDIA is at all-time highs again this morning ahead of this data release. And yeah, a lot of stuff going on. We did get some news regarding Powell yesterday. We had the president come out essentially saying that he drafted a letter to, send to the Republicans or something like that to see what their opinions were on firing Powell. And then he came out afterwards basically saying that it was very unlikely that he was going to do anything to Powell. So that is the latest update on the Jerome Powell, news. We'll get some music going here. What's up, Beach? What's up, Ray, Randy, Fender, Caesar, Keegan, Ava, World? What's up, guys? Good morning. All right, so NASDAQ sitting at right around 23,092. All right, so futures are mixed on Powell rumor and tariff data. So the Dow inched up 0.04%. S&P and NASDAQ dipped slightly. Again, what I'm showing on the NASDAQ here is that the SPY is slightly green. NASDAQ is slightly green. Take a look at like the QQQ. Q slightly green. Slight green day for these. Short-term U.S. rate futures have priced in rate cuts starting in September, boosted by reports of political pressure on Jerome Powell to step down, despite the Supreme Court affirming no president removal authority over Fed chair for political reasons and policy reasons. PPI data showed up yesterday as we covered. You can see it's still on the big bright yellow part of the screen. June PPI was flat, 0%, below expectations of 0.2%. Year-over-year inflation all the way down to 2.3%. For PPI core remains steady, softening inflation despite tariffs. ASML fell 7% yesterday, gapping down pretty significantly after weak outlook and guidance. NVIDIA, AMD, and others are buoyed by resumption of chip exports to China. News that came out the last few days. A softer PPI brought Treasury yields slightly higher. I don't know. I would think they would move them down, though, right? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, Treasury yields still elevated. If we take a look at them now. Bro, how did my headphones just not... Like... I charged my headphones all night. One of them just... I don't get it. Here's Treasury yields. We're at 4.46% for Treasury yields. So we're up a little bit, which shows a higher interest rate sentiment. You would think calming inflation would show lower, though. But hey, we got some earnings today, too. We have Taiwan Semiconductors, which came out early this morning. It showed up 247 versus 237 expected. We could put TSM up here. Taiwan Semi gapping up really nicely all the way to 245, hit 253 almost. But yeah, it showed up at 247 versus 237 expected, a 4.2% surprise. Revenue came in at 30.07, mostly flat from 30.04 expected. 44.4% growth though, which is good. We had GE show up at 166 versus 143 expected. 9.7 billion was expected. They showed 11 billion. 21.2% growth. Pepsi 2.12 EPS versus 203 expected. They posted 22.73 billion in revenue. They expected 22.4, so better than expected everywhere there. Abbott hasn't posted yet. US Bank posted slightly beat numbers. Revenue was really good for them, and we had a couple other bank stocks and stuff like that, but all right, so the GE Aerospace, which is GE CEO Culp, says the current administration has been open to their advocacy for a return to tariff-free regime for the aerospace industry. Looking at other stuff, Bank of America credit card spending. We have BOA credit card spending show total card spending at 4.5% year over year versus 0.2% in June. Yeah, if we take a look at ASML, Taiwan Semiconductors, the big story of the earnings today, I think. ASML still gapping down, although it did come back a little bit after falling down, but it's still down really, really big. It's down to 235s right now, so it is all the way down to here. It's basically right, like within a pretty close range to the lows of the last day after this drop, so it's still looking rough for for ASML. Yeah, so I see it saying NASDAQ futures. Trying to see where it opened up. Yeah, NASDAQ futures still pretty green. I mean, it opened up right here on the 17th, so it closed at like 23.30. We're now at 23.84. So NASDAQ looking pretty strong today. Still bouncing around 7.5. We'll see if ASML can trend higher. Tesla up a little bit over the last 24 hours at 320, which is good for that. So yeah, very strong. Yeah, TSM, great earnings. Looking at expectations here, like I said, everybody's kind of pivoted to rate expectations for September at 54%. So it's looking like we're going to cut rates in September. Let me drink my coffee. What's up, Beach Bum? How you doing, brother? Gave my like. Hey, thanks, sir. Yeah, so mixed pre-market tone, slightly green on the NASDAQ and the SPY. PPI eased pressure on yields, but markets remain alert and yields are still up. Bank earnings and semis show early signs of market response from tariffs. A lot of Fed uncertainty, no policy shifts yet. So XRP is surging. You can see it's up to like threes. It's up to like the mid threes, the low to mid threes. It's up pretty big since the 13th. The last week is up from like 250 or 275 all the way up to 325 this morning or so. So it's up big. Upcoming launch of XRP futures ETFs on July 18th, which is tomorrow, is fueling speculation and interest, is what's going on there. Yeah, if we take a look at Bitcoin this morning, bro, I had the weirdest dream last night. Bitcoin up to 118.50 or 118.5, basically 118.5. I had a dream I was taking an exam and that I was doing a report and on a book, and I'm trying to think of what the book's name was. The book was called, it was some nonsensical name now that I think about it. I can't remember what it was, but I had a dream that I was doing a book report on a book, but I didn't read the book. And so I was trying to figure out what the book was about so I could write some nonsense to answer some questions on the book report. And there was also questions about pickup trucks. Dreams are weird, man. They're just random. But yeah, that was my, I don't freaking know. Why does August never get mentioned for rate cuts? Because there's no Fed meeting or rate decision in August. It skips August. It happens every 6 weeks. So every 6 weeks they make a decision. And because it's every 6 weeks, it means some months are not going to get a rate decision, which is August, right? So it goes July 30th, because if you got to think of it this way, if the previous rate decision is at the very end of the month, then it's probably going to skip the next month because it's every 6 weeks, right? So if you take July 30th and you add 6 weeks to it, it completely skips August and goes into September, right? And then I think you get October and then December this year is what I think you get October 29th, you get December 10th, September 17th, July 30th. Hey, what's up, George? What's up, SmackDown? What's up, Andrew? Yowzer, World, Enrico, Glitter. Alright. I finally got my haircut. I needed it. Should have got a little shorter, though, to be honest. But hey. Alright, so today we got jobless claims and retail sales data coming out live. All right, so reports that the president was planning to fire Fed Chairman Jerome Powell sent stocks in the U.S. dollar tumbling yesterday, while long-dated Treasury yields charged higher. Drama was short-lived, less than an hour though. Bloomberg reported that after Bloomberg reported it, the president told a group of reporters at the White House that he had no plans to out Powell. Stocks were back in the green pretty quickly, it looks like. Again, Taiwan Semiconductors profit boomed 61%. This is one of the biggest stories of the day just because it's like an AI microchip stock. TSM, Taiwan Semi profit booms by 61%. They raised the sales outlook as Nvidia buoys demand. The contract manufacturer for companies including Nvidia, Apple, Thursday said its profits surged in the second quarter due to AI demand. Its profit jumped 61%, which came in ahead of the consensus as well, according to Visible Alpha. So Taiwan Semiconductors up very big for TSM, up to 245.60 right now, 245.60. Starbucks downgraded, underperformers. They've seen too much froth in the stock price. Starbucks rally has run too far, and this is an article by I don't know who this article is by, but Starbucks share prices outperformed the S&P with a 12.5% rally, beating the index by 3 percentage points. The stock is running way ahead of expectations, though. Last time I looked at Starbucks, it was like $70 a share. Now it's at 90. Maybe I should have bought it back then. I thought it was a good buy back then too, but I should have just held it. Yeah, let's do a poll here. Sorry. Where's the NASDAQ all-time highs? They gotta be kind of up there. Hold on, let's see. NASDAQ all-time highs. 223. I mean, we're close enough. We're a couple hundred, you know, we're not that far. This today's jobless claims and retail sales report. Cause a bullish or bearish response in markets. All right, there's the poll. The poll is now live. Does today's reports cause bullish or bearish action in markets today? Yeah, he just dipped his toes in. He just he contradicted himself a little bit, but honestly, if you want me to be honest, what I really think he's doing is I think he's trying to tell Powell. He's trying to pressure Powell to cut, of course. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to say, hey, bro, if you don't cut, I'll oust you, is basically what he's trying to say. I don't think he's going to kick him out, but I think he's just I think he's trying to use the threat of it to get Powell to cut, you know, because he thinks Powell can cut. I think you probably argue a cut. I don't think you should try to get Powell. I think it's ambiguous enough to where, you know, and again, I think people that are I'm not against you personally. I'm not against either side. I'm really not. What I think is that it's ambiguous enough to where the easy decision is not easy to see. I think it's harder to see what the right move is here. I think we don't really have the economic weakness to justify deep cuts. I think that quarter one GDP was negative. I'm curious to see what quarter two GDP shows up as, but I don't think you really have an argument for deep cuts, but I think you probably argue a balanced cut, if that makes sense. So I think you probably argue 125 basis point cut, continue QT, cut it 25 basis points for balance. I think you probably argue that at this point in time, but as long as we cut in September, it should be fine. Yeah. Could certainly be a test. Could certainly be a test. Yeah, I mean, Powell's not going to cut on the... I don't think he's going to cut on pressure. Powell doesn't look like he wants to be there anyway. All right, guys. Tesla up to 322s right now. Looks good, honestly. I'll short at 23 once, but I need a little bounce up there to justify it. Yeah, it's been weird. I've been covering every Jerome Powell speech, press conference, and everything like that for years and years and years. And after May of next year, no more Powell. That'll be interesting. We'll have somebody else to cover. It'll be the first time in my channel's history since we started covering these Fed meetings and decisions and stuff like that that we're going to get a different person besides Powell. It'll be interesting for sure. Just going to have to be on it. Yeah, so retail sales data, looking at the data that drops today. All right, so remember, earlier today we did have European CPI show up. Eurozone is what it's called, CPI. We had that show up early this morning. It showed up at 2%. It showed up basically flat. There was not one that showed up outside of expectations. So it showed up at 2% year over year for regular headline CPI. Core CPI 2.3%. Month over month core at 0.4%. Month over month regular at 0.3%. All of it was as expected. And then today we got jobless claims, unemployment filings. They're expected at 233, a slight uptick. Last time they showed up lower than expected, better than expected at 227. Today they're expected at 233,000. We got the Philly Fed Index expected at negative 1.2. For the Philly Fed Index, we've got retail sales data coming out. It's expected at 0.1%. So that's what we got on the books today. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so we got unemployment claims live at 8:30 at the same time. I think that's the unemployment claims report every Thursday. It's pretty interesting news just because, like, we get the unemployment rate, but it's a lagging indicator. Same thing with GDP, right? But if you want to look at jobs on a more recent level, that's what the jobless claims report is, because it's a week-to-week report on how many people are filing for unemployment, right? So it'll give you a more recent look at what's going on, if that makes sense. Look at this dip. We just tapped 75, dude. I gotta buy that dip. Look at that. Dude. All right. Another thing I'm seeing with my levels is that they almost work better in pre-market because it flows better with them. Like, there's less choppy like rips and dips and all this stuff. It flows better with the levels. Like, look at that hold right there. Exactly where we drew it. I'm telling you, man. I gotta watch that and be on that better because, man, exactly at my spot, exactly at my level. All right, we got 500 here already, man. Thanks so much. Hit the subscribe button. We'll put these numbers up at the bottom here. All right, retail sales expected at 0.2%. Right? Is it 0.2 or 0.3? It is 0.1 for regular. All right, so core month over month expected expected at. I'm trying to get these on screen in the most like detailed way. Core month-over-month expected at, and a lot of the times core retail sales are more influential. Core retail sales expected at 0.3% month-over-month today. There we go. And then what else we got? Jobless claims expected at, was it 233K? Yep. Philly Fed. Philly Fed's expected at negative 1.2. All live, 8:30. All right, so here's a breakdown of all the stuff going on today, right here, right in the yellow. Haircut? Yes, haircut. I needed it too. It was time. But yes, I got a haircut. Do me a favor, hit that like button and the subscribe button. Higher, it means stronger economy. Power signs 2 months, 2 weeks, or 2 days before that May 2026 date. I think the closer we get, the less likely it is that he backs out. Scott Bissett. The Scotty don't know. Scotty doesn't know. New all-time highs today. I think it's possible. It's possible. I mean, I think if you look at the big story is TSM. TSM up big right now. Up big. That's the big story. Man, look at that bounce at 7.5, bro. I gotta keep it. John the Kind. I think it's a great name. You know. Who reports this morning? TSM already reported. Better than expected. Good outlook. Up big. Jerome wants these last checks. I mean, he only gets 200K a year from this, you know. I'm not saying 200K a year is peanuts, but for somebody like Jerome Powell, who's got 50 million net worth, I don't think that's a big. Maybe he wants to max out his retirement and capitalize on the benefits for the last year. That's true, maybe. I don't know. TSM's pretty good. Everything else looks pretty good. Nvidia looks pretty good. Nvidia broke all-time highs this morning at 173.40s, so it's up there. Stream looks much better at home than on my laptop, right? Like, it just looks cleaner right now. It just looks better. I can manage it better, too. Are you looking at the level 2 bad? Is that what you're looking at the level 2? Yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff today. We also have some Fed members speaking too. If I take a look at it, like we've got, we got Kugler speaking at 10 a.m. We got Daly speaking at 12:45. At 1:30, Lisa Cook steps in. Chris Waller steps in at 6:30 p.m. So we got a whole bunch of speakers. Depends on how we react to this report, though. I don't really know what we're gonna do. Abbott Labs, fun fact, the largest anti-cannabis organization in the world. They donated more to both sides of the political spectrum to lobby against cannabis legalization than any other company. I think this was for 2023. I don't think they even let you see 2024 anymore, but they posted 126 versus 125, sales of 11.14 billion versus 11 billion expected. quarter 3 EPS guidance 128 132 versus 134, so they missed quarter 3 adjusted guidance. Fiscal year adjusted EPS guidance 510 to 520 versus 505 to 525, so slight miss there as well. So missed guidance for ABT. No, I didn't get the new mic set up. Honestly, I've been busy since I got home. I've been training a lot. I've been training. I've been doing stuff, man. It's just been busy. So I think the market has reacted negatively to the previous 2 jobless claims. Yeah, that's probably that might be true. Yeah, the next level I'm looking at is 23.1. I want to see what happens with 23.1. We're kind of in the middle range between levels right now. I think if I had to draw some though here, I would probably look at this 92 to 95 level right here. I guess if I had to force it, it would be like 95 right here. But again, I'm not really as confident in this level. I like the blue levels better. Yeah, I had to start training a little bit more. Get back into the swing of things. Get back in shape. I've gained some weight. I'm 185 pounds right now, which is probably the heaviest I've ever been. I'm easing towards 200 pounds. And I'm not the tallest guy either. Like, I'm not short either, but like I'm not the tallest. All right, guys. I made some coffee. I gotta go check out more coffee here in a second, but all right, guys. Yeah, for sure, Hanson, 100%. Yeah, Dragos. It happens quick, brother. It happens quick. You eat more. When what happens is when you get old, you start you have a family, you have children. You sit around watching movies and eating a lot more than I did before. I'm in pretty good shape though. Like, I tend to do okay. Like, I'm a blue belt. I tend to do okay versus the other blue belts. Like, I'm not the best ever, but I tend to do okay. Like, I'm not horrible versus the young ones, the younger ones who are stronger and faster most of the time. But anyways, NASDAQ very flat, very sideways. Again, you can look at the NQ today. Slightly green. SPY, S&P. SPY slightly red now. E-mini slightly green, but close. SPY, S&P 500 basically flat this morning in futures. Not doing much. Nvidia broke all-time highs. You can see that light green line on the chart is the previous all-time high. We got up there for a split second. New all-time highs 173.46, just under 173.50. NASDAQ slightly green on both on the NQ and the QQQ ETF. So that's where we're at right now. Waiting for the data to show up. Looking at all the upcoming news as well, but All right, we did a poll asking people, does today's reports, jobless claims, and retail sales cause a bullish or bearish response in market? 68% said bull, 32% said bear. So most people think we're going to get a good response to this. Netflix, I mean, I always liked Netflix recently, but Netflix is up a lot too. $1,300 a share. I mean, I think they're getting into live sports. I told people this when it was about $1,000 a share. This was only like a month or two ago, but Netflix getting into live sports is big. And so I'm pretty bullish on Netflix, and I have been, and it looks like it was justifiably so because Netflix had a huge push. Still at $12.50 though. $12.50, so that's a big gap up. Big move up. ELV, what is that? Elevance, I don't know much about this company, to be honest. Elevance Health, I just don't know much. Yeah, we got 45 minutes. Let me get a timer up. I'm noticing I don't have a timer up yet. All right, so here's the timer. 45 minutes left. Yeah, I didn't watch the last boxing fight they had on Netflix. Just because the last, like, those two have fought so much, and the decisions, the judges are terrible. And so I just think the judges are a little off in those fights. And I think, honestly, the result for this last one was wrong, too. But Meta dip? Where's Meta at? Meta's at 700 a share. I think Netflix is going to get a split sometime soon, most likely, as well as Meta. Yeah, TSM up big. All right, so we're going to do a post on x.com, break it down. So we're retesting that 75 level. Yeah. I don't know. It says treasury yields all higher, political drama by the Fed, ASML. Yep. All right, guys. Let me drink some coffee. All right, so we did a pre-market update this morning, posting about this stuff. Look at this 75 bounce again. Again, I'm still watching TSM. There's a couple stocks that I think are really moving markets this morning. Nvidia, number one, broke all-time highs. AMD up to 160s. TSM gapping up from big earnings early this morning, 2 a.m. Dropped earnings, gapping up big, 245s, hit 253 almost. Certainly moving markets. And yeah, just those 3 or 4 stocks: Nvidia, TSM, AMD, ASML. ASML back up to 240s, but still down a pretty big amount here. Apple at 210s, pretty stagnant. Meta over 700 still. Google 182s, 183s. Netflix at 1260. What am I forgetting? Microsoft 505s, 5 plus still. But yeah, TSM's the big story of the day. It's at 245s right now. Nasdaq tested 75 again, bounced right there as well. Another bounce. Hey, what's up, Sam? Yeah, Tesla's big too. Tesla's at 320s right now. We're watching Tesla. I think it'll move markets too. It's back up some. Testing that 325 level, I think it's pretty big. Amazon currently sits at 223s as well. Yeah, we're watching all those. But in terms of like big market movers, TSM, ASML, Nvidia. That's what I'm looking at. Retail sales will be higher because most people are rushing to buy before the new tariff kicks in on August. So yeah, I'm expecting the retail sales to be bullish. Yeah, we got the new deadline in 13 days, less than 2 weeks now. Is it 13 days? How many days in July? 31? Okay, 14 days. In exactly 2 weeks, we get the tariff deadline, August 1st. You didn't have faith in the NASDAQ 75 bounce. I don't ever attack a retest. So if we bounced once and twice, I'm not attacking that third one. It's just too low probability. I mean, it might bounce again, but I'm not going to bet on it, if that makes sense, right? So like if we have an isolated level like here and it hasn't tested it and it starts going like this and then it comes back down and eventually and it retests it, that's a situation where I would attack a bounce back up. But if in the last 20-30 minutes we've tested it 1, 2 plus times, I'm not going to attack the retest of it. It's just a rule that I have. I don't want the retest because the retest is when stuff like this happens. And so in that context, I'm just not doing it. I got to wait until it's a fresh test of it, if that makes sense. I'm late because I've had to spend the morning hand drawing sub-millimeter accurate diagrams, very time consuming. Yeah, sounds like it. Welcome, man. Insane Euphoria. Yeah, I mean, we're up a lot still. We're definitely up a lot still. Yeah, I just have my rules with the levels that I have. All right, so this guy Dan Ives picked 5 stocks for the first half of 2025. He picked Nvidia, Palantir, Microsoft, Meta, Tesla. I mean, I don't hate those stocks, to be honest. All AI related in one way. Apple stock would soar if it buys this, says Jim Cramer. Continued buybacks will do nothing. Jim Cramer. I don't know if that's good or not. Again, give me a follow at Beginner Trades. Here is the post that we did, breaking down everything going on in pre-market and everything to pay attention to in pre-market right there. Help support the channel. Kyle, I'm not commenting on that at all. It's just too controversial, brother. I think it might move markets, but in a negative way. But who knows? What do you think of Meta getting back to 725? I think it's possible. I think Meta's AI as well. A lot of it is AI backed. They have their llama systems. So Meta gonna split? I agree. Yeah, I think they're gonna split soon. I think Netflix will as well. I think we're gonna see Netflix split within the next year. And you can theorize if it's gonna go up. Then I don't know. Is the S&P rolling over? I think a little bit. It was red the last time I looked at it. The SPY's red. The E-mini is slightly red as well now. So yeah, the E-mini S&P rolling over a little bit. What's up, Faye? All right, so we're bouncing back up. We're at 23,084. Yeah, I'm checking up on other news. I don't really see any breaking news here. GE Aerospace CEO says it is working with Boeing to certify LEAP 1B durability kit in the first half of next year. Still bouncing at 75 again. But again, at this point, I mean, we do have a descending trend line here. We do have a descending trend line. But I'm not messing with it. I gotta wait, I think. We got 35 minutes left or so. Got over 700 here already. That's good. I trade a little bit of both, mostly micros. I usually prefer multiple micros versus one mini. Thirty-year treasuries at 5.02%, the highest in 18 years. Is that true? Let me see. Oh yeah, it is true. 30-year treasury over 5% right now. It's not the time to buy treasuries. Look at this. 5.02%, 5.03%, over 5% yield from treasury bonds right now. 30-year though, so that means every year you're going to earn 5%. It's really not bad compounding effect to it. Like 5% is not nothing. It's going to beat inflation most of the time. So like 5% is, say you got 50K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so 50 turns into 205. You're going to make about 4 extra money in 30 years. And that's cool and all, but it's not as good as the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, most of gold, real estate. It's going to underperform most of those, even at these high yield levels. Netflix earnings are this evening, 4 p.m. IB earnings as well. We got some other ones too, but yeah, look at the NASDAQ bounce. Again, TSM, the big story of the day. Bitcoin at 118 is falling down a little bit. Tesla, 322s. TSM, ASML, stocks to watch. Nvidia broke all-time highs this morning. All right, guys. We got jobless claims unemployment data going live. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We got 30 minutes exactly left. NASDAQ's pushing back up. We might attack this 95 level, although it is a retest, but we'll look for it. It's right around the 200 exponential, and that 100 level seems like a good risk if we jump in small. Yeah, I mean, I like Bitcoin, and I think it's going to go up over time. I don't know if I'm as I don't know if I'm as convinced as Sailor, but I like Bitcoin. I think it's going to go up over time. I've liked it for a long time. And, yeah, I mean, Sam says I didn't account for inflation. I mean, I understand, but inflation's going to happen regardless of any, like you're going to lose money to inflation over time. That's the point of investing in this, including bond yields. All right, so here's the retest of 95s here. Let me see if I can short it. Wait. All right, we're gonna short one, just one. We got that 200 exponential up there that might reject, so that's what we're looking at. Maybe add, I guess, but I want to keep it just one. It's early. Starting to reject a little bit on the NQ. Let's see if it does. I'll take two here, and we'll leave it at that. There we go. I'm gonna take half off there, and then we can hold the rest, at least break even, to where we're not gonna lose money at all. The initial retest of it, just scalping these levels. If I tried like a full NASDAQ or mini S&P contract, I think I would do really, really well. Just scalping these movements. And again, we could hold it break even now, so we could just let it sit. It's following my levels. It's actually pretty sideways, but I think I got to scale up when I attack these levels, though. We got the 200 EMA and this 95 level we drew. Although the 95 level, so we're green on the trade. We got out, break even on the rest. But the 95 level is one that I recently drew this morning. Here's the 200 EMA, and you can see it at least respects this level too. I think one up here is a better level though. So if we get up there, I will short that as well. But I'm going to try larger size just because I think larger size makes more sense scalping these moves. Getting in big and out big quickly. As long as I can cut it as fast as I need to, I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I gotta do the same thing. Sometimes I miss messages just because it's not set to all. Yeah, these are all pretty good songs. I like these. All right, let's see if we can get up to 1. 23.1 is the level where I'm gonna probably start attacking it again. We're getting over the 200 exponential, but I think we could get a dip back down to retest. I'll look for a trade from 23.1 all the way back down to 95 or 96 to retest if it gets that high. We might have choppy range. We got 27 minutes left, so we'll see. But it might be choppy. Might not get a chance to either. Can you not hear the music? I can turn it up some. I don't know why. Let me see. Maybe it's my own settings. Is that better? Let me know. That should be much, like, you should be able to hear it now. Let me know if it's too loud is the only thing. what's up, Tiny? Hey, good morning, good morning. See who my top fans are today. New Trader is number 1. Who's New Trader? No offense to you. I don't know. Fender number 2, Just for Fun number 3. Yowzer number 5. John number 4. Green number 6. Beach Bum number 7. Paul number 8. Sam number 9. Ryan Scott number 11. H-Town number 10. Enrico number 12. Rob number 13. Kelly number 4. Nick number 14. Kelly number 15. Faye number 19. Drago 18. Tej 17. Arian 16. Alright, guys. Alright, let's see if we test that 23-1 level. I will short this if we get up there. Let's see if we do. I gotta wait for the level, though, is what I've learned. Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, we're gonna test it, and I get in early, and then it's a harder trade to manage. Right? I think I need to ultimately just wait for us to get close enough. This isn't close enough. I need a little bit higher. And I think I need to make it 23-1 here. So, bad. It got up to 99.50. So I probably could have taken it, but we'll see if it gets bought up. I don't know. I don't know, Faye. All right, here we go. We're getting back up there. Still not quite high enough, but all right, we're gonna jump in 2 contracts, 4 contracts right here. Didn't get in anywhere close to where I wanted though, but it's all right. We rejected there, but I'm gonna cut half of it right here. I didn't get in close enough to it. I'll have to wait and maybe add back up there. Yeah. All right, I'll add that back here. Now we have 4. All right, so it rejected here. Let's see if it comes back down. I don't really have that much profit here, but it's all right. There we go. There we go. We got down to the 200 EMA here, but I'm gonna get out there. I mean, I'm green. I didn't make a lot though, to be honest, but it worked. But I didn't make a lot. Like we're net green, I think, but I didn't make a lot. I'm experimenting with this. I could probably do 1 regular NASDAQ too. Ah, look at that. It worked too. I gotta learn to manage these. So I'm building the system right now. The levels work. I just gotta learn to manage them a little bit better. I'll get there. Yeah, it was a crazy market yesterday. Up to me, it really was. It was a weird market. All right, guys. Now we're up to 23 ones. 23 ones. All right, guys. So we're right at that 23-1. I'm not going to attack the retest of it. It's too close. NVIDIA is pushing up, though. So the previous... One of the ways I will short this, like NVIDIA's previous all-time high was 172.87. So I will watch that level, but the only problem is the 200 exponentials right here at 97. So if that pushes us back up, I don't really want to mess with that. Is the music good now? Is it too loud? I had one good trade and sat on the sidelines. Yeah, not a bad idea. So it's just a new feature that YouTube is adding to live streams in general. It's called the top fan feature. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just the top fan feature. We got 20 minutes left. Nasdaq's flat over the last 5 minutes as well. Any breaking news that's coming out, we'll cover it. But the Swiss defense minister says the U.S. has informed them about a delay in the delivery of the Patriot system. Johnson & Johnson receives U.S. FDA priority review for one of their biodrugs. Good. All right, cool. I totally forgot TSM had earnings. Yeah, and TSM is the one today, man. This thing's driving the market right now. It really is. We got 18 minutes left. Yeah, I'm going to put on some older music here. This is some old music, but I got some older music that I like a little bit more. All right, retested 23.1. You get NVIDIA. I'm watching this previous high up here at 172.87 or whatever it was. Hey, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, chat. We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, zooming out, it does look bearish. All right, guys, Amazon at 233.50s. Netflix is crazy high. NVIDIA's pushing higher. Taiwan Semiconductors leading the way. ASML still down big. Power rumors yesterday move markets. Basically, the president drafted a letter saying, a letter on how he would let go of Powell. He got other politicians' opinions on it, and then he came out pretty shortly after that. That moved markets. Pretty shortly after that, he came out saying that it was unlikely that he was going to do anything. That he was probably just going to let Powell finish his term. As I said yesterday, I thought Powell would finish his term. I don't think we're going to get anything. So I don't think we're going to get him see Powell, fired or something like that. I just don't think it's going to happen. We did have some news. So the president's trade advisor Navarro said non-tariff barriers is a big challenge for the European Union to solve. He said the European Union VAT tax is also a subsidy, and we'd like to see VAT tax relief and lower tariffs. All right, so the potential Fed chair pick is a guy named Warsh. He says, quote, "We're at a transformational moment in economic history." He said the last thing we need is continuity at the Fed. GameStop moment? For what? What stock? GameStop at 23s. Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's supposed to finish his term May 2026. I think they're just going to let him finish. That seems like the most probable thing to me. All right, so look, guys, we did reject at 23.1. I could have held this short even longer. But it's all right. We're learning. It's a scalping system, to be honest. So like my levels work really well for scalping. Market can always do anything though. But look at that. Worked at 23.1 level. We talked about it. Worked really well. Held as nice resistance. That's what I'm saying. Subscribe to this channel. You can see the levels we use. Remember, guys, not an investment professional, not liable. If you do lose, can't guarantee anything. Sometimes I trade and lose off stream. You might not see it. Nothing here is financial advice. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell you know. OPEN is running. Look at OPEN penny stock. 211s right now. If you zoom out on a 5-minute chart, this moves pretty crazy. It's up well over 100% in the last 24, 48 hours. Yeah, I heard Burke isn't doing that well. Burke's been falling down. But I mean, sometimes Burke does this. Burke pulled back in 2022 as well. Pretty big. Might be time to buy Burke. I think Burke's still going to be fine. Like, listen, guys. Warren Buffett's like 100 years old, bro. How old is Warren? He's got to be like 90. If you think Buffett is making the decisions at 94 years old with Berkshire Hathaway, I got some timeshares I want to sell you, okay? Of course, Buffett has not been making decisions in Burke for probably the last 15 years. He might pretend to because they're trying to ease into his retirement. Buffett's not making decisions here. He's just not, you know? Like, Buffett has advisors, employees, probably family working for Burke. Might be a buy the dip moment personally for Burke, but I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do, not an investment professional. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes. We got 1,000 people watching. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. He is the face of Burke. I understand, but he's also 95 years old. So, I mean, he hasn't been running things at Burke for a long time, regardless of whether he's the face. All right, NASDAQ coming back down here. Again, open door up big. TSM up big this morning. ASML down big still. NVIDIA testing all-time highs is where we're at today. SPY at 623s. Yeah, just be careful with OPEN. Now, let's see if we bounce back up. NASDAQ's pretty sideways in range here leading into this report, though. We also have a bunch of Fed speakers today. Again, we got CPI, Eurozone inflation, as expected everywhere this morning. We got core retail sales expected at 0.3%. Jobless claims expected at 233. Philly Fed index expected at minus 1.2. Regular retail sales expected at 0.1%. And then for the rest of the day, we got the Atlanta Fed GDP now at 1 o'clock. They're expecting 2.6% for quarter two, 2.6%. We got Cook speaking at 1:30, Daly speaking at 12:45, Waller speaking later this evening at 6:30. We got Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations tomorrow. So that's going on tomorrow. Will be interesting. In the Atlanta Fed GDP now for quarter two, expected tomorrow as well at 11:30 Eastern. So we got some stuff. We got Netflix earnings after the bell today. Netflix is up to $1,300 a share. And we got a bunch of big earnings that dropped already too. So let me, sorry, there it is. Hold on. All right, so key Bitcoin and crypto bills have cleared their final hurdle in the House. They could pass as early as this afternoon, according to a lot of different people as well. Yeah, GE, Pepsi, all reported earnings. Ugh. My back itches. Yeah, we had GE, Pepsi, Abbott, ELV, TSM, probably the biggest one, US Bank, TCBI, TRV, Travelers, WIT, NVS, MAN, CFG, FITB, SNA, WBS, VLV, LY, and more. We posted all the big earnings that dropped today on our X.com page as well. What is Goggle? Hey, what's up, Danny? Meta's falling down a little bit. Meta's at 705, though. It's had a pretty good run here. Look at the NASDAQ dip. Here's Meta. Meta's had a pretty good run. It's green over the last few days, although flat since the mid-July or mid-June numbers. Just kind of slowing down, but if you look at a longer-term chart since March, it's up a lot with everything else. You look at a daily chart, I mean, it broke all-time highs on the 30th, so 2.5 weeks ago. So, I mean, Meta's doing fine. You got to have reasonable expectations for things. Not saying you don't, but Meta's doing okay. If something broke all-time highs less than a month ago, and it's still within that range, it's probably okay. All right, guys, we got less than 10 minutes, about 9 minutes left, really. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's trying to hold. You got to have reasonable expectations for it, though. All right, so we got some quotes here. U.S. investment grade primary market is expected to see 4 borrowers likely to sell fresh bonds during Thursday's session, according to Bloomberg, citing an informal survey of debt underwriters. All right, so Warsh, which is a potential Fed pick for the chairman, says, quote, hesitancy to cut rates is a loss in credibility. All right, so looking at the 75 level getting tested again. We got to look at the SPY, I think, too, here. SPY at 623s. He said, Warsh says we need a new Treasury Fed Accord like 1951. All right, guys, 7 minutes left. A little bit less than 7 minutes, actually. A fellow DDG man. Does that stand for Dapper Dan? I don't. What's that? I don't know. We're bouncing at 75s right now. Gold is spiking up. Is it really? Let's take a look at gold. Gold is moving up a little bit. It's at 3333. We also have oil up a little bit this morning at 67. Bond yields up this morning at 4.47% for 10-year treasuries. Bounced again at 75. Been incredibly flat this morning. Incredibly flat. Meta's bringing a huge data center to Monroe, Louisiana, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, hey. All right, look at this bounce at 75. Right at 75. My level's holding strong. All right, so Warsh says the president is right to be pushing the Fed publicly. Do you guys agree? And again, Warsh is one of the potential Fed picks. All right, we're almost back up to that 95 level that we traded before. That's a big green candle, though. And listen, we got 5 minutes left. A little bit under 5 minutes left. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Data's coming out very soon. Let's see what we get. I'm here. I'm waiting for it. I look at slash GC. I look at gold futures. Depends on which gold stock you're looking at. Hey, what's up, Sublime? Powell's staying, most likely. Yeah, I mean, the president came out yesterday. He drafted a letter on how he would let go of Powell. Got other Repub opinions on it, I'm pretty sure, and then came out pretty shortly after saying it was unlikely he was going to do anything. So, I mean, that's where we're at now. Like I said, I think it's pretty improbable that Powell gets let go. And I think the closer we get to Powell's term ending in May of next year, I think the less likely it is. I don't think he's going to let him go with 3 months left, 4 months left, 5 months left, you know? And so I think that's my stance on it. All right, so NASDAQ is pushing up. We are at 95 again. Again, less than 4 minutes, about 3.5 minutes left. Powell's speech next week. Land. Now you got me checking. I don't think so. I think he's going to be in a blackout period. On Wednesday, on the 30th, but that's 2 weeks from now. It's not next week. And then I know Powell has the Jackson Hole Symposium in August. All right, guys, here we go. We got 3 minutes. Yeah, Bitcoin's been falling this morning. You see 10-year treasuries. You can see NVIDIA up here on the top right. I'll put gold up. See what this retail sales data does to gold here is what I'm curious about. We're trying. All right, guys, 2.5 minutes. So lower jobless claims means less people filing for unemployment and is ultimately stronger for the economy. Higher jobless claims means the opposite. It means more people filing for unemployment, less people working and spending, and less economic growth, essentially. Retail sales is essentially the opposite. Higher retail sales signals stronger economy. Lower retail sales signals less strong economy. Core retail sales also very important. They're expected at 0.3%. Regular retail sales expected at 0.1%. Jobless claims expected at 233 today. We got a minute and a half left, chat. All right, let's do this. Make sure you put it in 2x speed. You hit the live button next to the play button. We got less than a minute and a half. Put it in 2x speed. Hit the live button next to the play button. Check out Top Step if you want to help support the channel. I'll put the link up on screen after this. But yeah, we got almost 2,000 people here for retail sales data and jobless claims. I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. All right, guys, here we go. We got 1 minute left. Look at us respect this 95 level, too. This 200 EMA is right there as well. All right, guys, here we go. We got gold up on the bottom right. We got NVIDIA on the top right. We got the NASDAQ on the left. I'll put the SPY up, I think, too. We can look at NVIDIA later, but I'll put the SPY up here. Here's gold, the SPY, and the NASDAQ. All right, guys, about 30 seconds left. Yeah, hit the live button next to it. 2x speed makes it so you don't get delayed on stream. We got 25 seconds left. All right, guys, here we go. I'm going to mute this timer. It's a little bit early. We got about 15 seconds, really, but. All right, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's the report. Okay, guys, so we had import-export prices. Export prices showed up at 0.5%. The Philly Fed Index showed up at 15.9%. Core retail sales stronger than expected at 0.5%. Regular retail sales at 0.6%. Both very strong, very strong. Really low jobless claims as well at 221 versus 233 expected. Everything came out pretty much stronger for the economy than expected. Philly Fed Index was almost 16 at 15.9. Retail sales at 0.6. Core retail sales at 0.5. All of this was stronger than the expected numbers. And yeah, jobless claims noticeably lower at 221,000 versus 233,000 expected. So all of it showed a stronger economy than expected here for the most part. None of this data really showed negative numbers. Philly Fed Index was very strong. Again, jobless claims were lower, showing less people filing for unemployment week to week. Retail sales were higher, 0.6% for regular, 0.5% for core. So yeah. I'll put this data up on screen, but better than expected for most numbers here. There's regular retail sales month over month. We'll put core up here for core retail sales month over month. And then we'll get jobless claims on screen too. Jobless claims 221 versus 235 expected. So 233. All right, so here's the numbers here, chat. These are all the big numbers. But yeah, economic report showed much stronger economy than expected. Again, yeah, everything basically showed stronger economy than expected. Jobless claims. Retail sales data as well. Basically everywhere showed stronger economy. All right, guys. Let's see if we bounce at 23 ones here. Yeah, we put this data up on screen. See if we can buy this dip here. I might buy this dip. I mean, this is stronger economy than expected. What it means, though, is less likely for rate cuts, though, is the only thing. So it does mean we are less likely to cut rates. What? Dude, oh my gosh, dude. It literally just switched it. All right, let's see if we bounce. There we go. Don't hold that as resistance. Get back over that 200 exponential here. There we go. I'm gonna start taking positions off here. Somehow I'm very green on this, but I'll hold the rest break even now. We'll see what happens. Again, if you want to help support the channel, check out Top Step. We are day trading on Top Step's funded account program. There's no PDT in futures on Top Step. It's the best way to learn how to day trade when most day traders lose money. They give you a 50K demo, 100K demo, 150K demo for the top one. The base one's $50 a month. It's not the end of the world if you fail it. If you pass it, 50K funded account, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K in profit and then 90% split afterwards. We're going to cut that right there. No PDT run futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, Gold. They pay out hundreds of millions. They fund thousands. Some of the best rules in the game and some of the most reliable payouts. They process them quickly too. Zero commission on Top Step X as well. If you want to learn to day trade that way, it's usually a better way than funding your own account tens of thousands of dollars and probably losing it. And so understand that. But they're an affiliate or sponsor of mine. I'm biased. I get paid by them. So pretty biased in their favor, but genuinely useful for traders. Great way to learn. And if you're good enough to pass it, you get a 90% split anyway with a $50 risk basically. So it's just the best of both worlds. You can check it out. I'll put it to the top of the chat. So we did bounce back up there, so we did catch that. I'm going to pin this to the top of the chat if you do want to check it out. What's up, Steve? Yeah, gold falling down. I mean, gold's going to fall down in this report because it showed a stronger economy than expected. You know what I mean? It showed a stronger economy than expected. You know, that's what happened here. Jobless claims were less, meaning less people filed for unemployment. Retail sales were stronger. Core retail sales were stronger. Philly Fed index was stronger. Everything basically showed a stronger economy than expected. You know, now what happens here is that this means it's less likely for rates to be cut. So this is probably going to push back odds for rate cuts, to be honest. You know, to be completely real, this is going to push back odds for rate cuts most likely. So what do you guys think? Is this data good or bad? Let me end the poll. So let me end this poll. We'll do another poll. All right, so we are bouncing back a little bit. So buying the dip, you know, we ended up making some from it, but hold on. Let me fix something here. Okay. What's a good poll right now, guys? Give me some options for some polls here. Uber is just going to invest $300 million in Lucid as part of a robotaxi partnership. Yeah, I mean, I think they recognize they want to compete with Tesla. It's probably what it is. I said this when Tesla announced the robotaxi, that I think the biggest losers from that are going to be Uber and Lyft, unless Tesla partners with them specifically, which it doesn't sound like they are. Do we want rate cuts if data is solid? No, I mean, I think this pushbacks the odds of rate cuts. If we take a look at CME watch tool, especially with only a couple weeks left here until rates, if we take a look at this, I'm wondering if this changed at all. So here's the CME watch tool. Look at the NASDAQ pump. I would assume it would mean less likely for rate cuts. Let's see about a September cut. This was like 54%. It's back down to 52% now. So I think the odds of a September cut decreased on this report. I mean, it showed stronger economics, which shows less of a need, less justification to cut rates. And that's what you kind of see here on this report. Less of a need, less justification to cut. Here, hold on. Let me check something here. Okay. Should we cut rates? Should the FOMC in July is going to be the question. Should the FOMC cut rates in July? I think that's a good question. No rate cut before December. Small cut, maybe. All right, guys. So, NASDAQ's testing highs of the last like hour here. Highs of the day are 150. And where's Nvidia at right now? Gold bouncing back up a little bit, but Nvidia's close to all-time highs as well at this 173.50 level. So. %, it's too hard to keep. Yeah, I mean, they want 2%, but I always tell people if we get close to 2%, that's pretty solid. All right, so looking at our poll, you can see how split people are. Should the FOMC cut rates in July, we said. 48% say yes, 51% say no. And so, interesting how split everybody is regarding rates right now. It's the micro NASDAQ, Darren. It's a futures contract. Again, if you want to check out Top Step, check out the link pinned to the top of the chat. It's a funded account program. Great way to learn how to day trade. Most day traders lose money. Doesn't matter what course you take, who your mentor is. Most day traders lose. If you want to limit how much you lose in the beginning, instead of funding thousands into an account and trying to day trade that, try a funded account program. Your risk is $50 an account. And if you pass it, you get a $50K funded account, 90% split. You can take withdrawals. If you fail, you're out $50. So it's the best of both worlds. But again, I'm biased. You want to confirm everything with them. I can't guarantee anything. They're a sponsor affiliate of mine, so, you know. All right, we're gapping up a little bit here after this report. Strong market. I got to figure out where some new levels are, though. Let me draw some here. I think we got to look at 25 right here. I think 25's an obvious one. 35 looks to be one as well, and then 150 looks to be one as well. So we have some levels above us that we could potentially play off of. We get up to 25, I'll short it short term and see what happens. Third quarter solid data, tariff uncertainty, no cut yet. Makes sense to me. How much of your account would you keep in Top Step as a buffer? I'd keep a good bit if it's possible, you know. I'd try to keep a good bit at least, you know. Yeah, I'm looking at some other stuff here. All right, so Lucid is up 50% after Uber announces a $300 million partnership. I like Lucid cars too. NASDAQ just broke that recent high again. Look at Lucid gap up from this, but Lucid's doing bad right now. I mean, it's not doing good. Hey, nice, Johannes. All right, 52%. No, Darren. Not that I know of. I appreciate the donation, Darren. Shout out to you, bro. But no, I don't think there is. Not that I know of. Reach out to them and ask them, brother. All right, guys, we just tapped 124s. Just tapped 124s. Do I want to short this? I think I might. Let me see. I'm going to short one. See what happens. Maybe add to it if it works. There's two. Nice. It's a strong rip though. There we go, we're back to green. Looks heavy. See if we pull back some here though. There we go. I need a little bit more. I should probably take a little bit larger size, but it's alright. We'll hold this close to break even if we can. Ah, we get nothing out of that. It looks heavy up there though. Looks like it's struggling to break the level, but it also can squeeze out. Gotta add some more to it. It's kind of a neutral trade. I mean, I'm not really attacking too much. The range is small. I gotta take some larger size here. I'm looking at the range. It's just not big. I mean, I'm green on the day. My trades have worked, but alright, I mean, we're gonna cut it. I gotta take larger size though. But the trade worked. The idea worked, and every time I've attacked this strategy today, it's worked. Next level I have on my chart is 135. So yeah, I mean, do you guys think we'll get rate cuts this year? I don't know. One thing I haven't looked at yet is the 10-year treasuries. 10-year treasuries are now down after this report, which is interesting too. They correlate with interest rates. Yields, that is, correlate with interest rates. 1? Yeah, maybe. Alright, Similar Scientific has acquired 210 bitcoins for 25 million. They now hold 4,846 bitcoin worth almost 600 million at 572 million. Yeah, so spot gold has gone down a little bit. Gold futures down as well. Look at gold futures start to break down here. 33.20s. They were at 33.33 this morning. But they're extending losses from this economic report. Again, the July Philly Fed Index rose to almost 16, all above estimates. Median was -1, -1 point something. No rate cuts this year. Markets are still pricing in a September cut. It's over 50% likelihood. At least it was the last time I looked at it. We can take a look at it real quick right now, but markets are still pricing in a September cut. Just over 50. The odds of a September cut have gone down though. Like these have decreased just in the last 5 minutes. This was at 52 or 53% when I looked at it 5 minutes ago. It's now at 50.8%. And it's getting less and less as time goes on. Yeah, Netflix, we have Q1 after the bell today. Yeah, U.S. retail sales year over year, 3.92%. September was at -6. All right, we're at 23,131s here. SPY up to 625s. Testing highs of the day for the SPY. Let's see if it does. I'm watching this 135 level. I will trade this level if I can. So I'm looking at 135s, and I will trade it if I can, but we'll see. All right, guys. Nvidia. Gold still breaking lows of the, is this lows of the day? Let me see. Yeah, gold breaking lows of the day just now at 33.15s. Gold under the lows now. Yeah, Top Step added a recent setting that allows you to reduce contract limit. Let me see. Yeah, just too controversial, Thomas. I'm going to just go ahead and delete that, brother. It's all good. How was the 10-year responding yesterday to all that Powell news flip-flopping? It was moving back and forth for sure. If we take a look at 10-year treasuries. All right, so there's 135s. Here's a 5-day chart. You can kind of see it yesterday. So here's 10-year treasuries. Yesterday was the 16th. So you can kind of see late yesterday we dipped and then rebounded back up pretty quickly by midnight. Or no, this is the morning. So we dipped big in the afternoon, came right back up. We're sitting at 4.46% right now for 10 years. NASDAQ over 35s. High of the day up here at 150 basically. Let's see if we hit it. NASDAQ's ripping. SPY's ripping. Nvidia is right around the previous all-time highs. Yeah, from my experience, you can get up to like 15.1 in profit a day or 14.5, and then the next day get 15.5 to hit the 2-day limit. Yeah, gold's breaking down as we speak. NASDAQ's ripping up. Look at this previous all-time high here. Not all-time high, I'm sorry. Previous high of the day. It's at exactly 150, 175. But it's close enough to 150 to make 150 the level. So GE Aerospace says they are increasing the 777X engine shipments to Boeing this year. News recently came out. right, let's see if we break this high. We're getting close. We're at 45s, over 45s for a second, 47s. But here's 50 up here. I'm watching Nvidia closely too, see if it breaks highs of the day. We're getting close to the all-time highs in the NASDAQ as well. What news is causing this? It's mostly sparked by retail sales data. Retail sales data showed up here, right here. And then you can kind of see. Not retail sales, but, I mean, retail sales, jobless claims, Philly Fed index data all showed stronger economics in the U.S. than expected, and that propelled the market higher. Even though it means less likelihood for rate cuts, the odds for a September cut actually decrease from these reports, but, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. I mean, it's a big move relative to normal moves for retail sales and jobless claims. So it's big based versus normal. I guess that's the point. All right, so we're dipping down a little bit. I want to see if we bounce at this 135 level, and I do kind of want to buy this, although it's risky. Let's see if we can take some size. I need a dip to 135, though. Like, I don't think we're going to double top without retesting it, but we could also pull back to 25s, one, you know. So we'll start small. Add to it if we can, but I'd like a dip down to 135 at least. We also have the 8 a.m. scrum or the 9 a.m. scrum coming up in 2 minutes. I have no idea where Nvidia is going this year. I think it's got a chance to really run. Price action for NASDAQ shows why retail shouldn't fixate on rate cuts. They are meaningless without a healthy economy. Yeah, I mean, I should have bought this dip. We didn't quite get it a big enough dip down. I mean, we cut in the last 4 months of last year. We cut at the end of last year. 4 rate cuts. Or no, 3 rate cuts. We did 50, 25, 25, full percentage point at the end of last year. So we did cut recently. I mean, it was less than a year ago. It's not like we've been pausing for years like we were in 23. Here, yes, bud. It's not even 8 a.m. yet, bro. Don't ask me to play games.
No, can you listen? Andrew said
All right, buddy. Out of here. Maybe. All right, I'm out. Get out of here. All right, love you. Get out of here. All right. All right, we're almost at 150s. I usually let them play, but it's 8 a.m. in Texas right now, so it's a little too early to play games. I don't think it's good to wake up and start playing. All right, Nvidia bouncing at the VWAP here. SPY up there, broke highs of the day, getting close to it again. Where's TSM this morning? TSM fighting back. ASML still down a lot, but still at 745, bounced back a little bit. Yeah, the NASDAQ is just running here. Ooh. Yeah, I try, man. I try. 6 a.m. here. Yeah. Like, I let him play games. I let him do things he enjoys within reason. You gotta limit the screen time, especially. So I try, you know. All right, guys. Hey, we got less than 30 minutes until the market opens. NASDAQ just tapped over 150 here. High of the day is at 152. So we just got over that for a split second. So we just broke highs of the day on the NASDAQ up to 155s as we speak. 155. Spies broke high of the day as well. Pepsi exec says they'll give consumer drinks with sugar and natural ingredients if there's demand for it. I think there's demand for it. All right, NASDAQ pushing up. It's at 156. 156. SPY up. NASDAQ up. Everything kind of running here. All right, we're at 170, 260s. Why everything running when less likely had to cut now? Because it just means stronger economic data. So we got stronger economic data than expected. Market liked it. Is what we got right now. Yeah, I don't know what it is in Texas, but it's not cool. Probably. All right, so we're dipping down to 150 here. It's too short term of a pullback for me to buy, I think. Nvidia's heading down too, so Nvidia's not really doing much. SPY pulling back some too here. I think gold's probably reacting still negatively to this. I haven't looked at it in a minute though, but yeah, I mean gold's just consolidating after dropping. Not a shock. Yeah, I mean, maybe we pull back to 50 and bounce pawn. I think it's possible. It's just too short term. Like, if I want to pull back to a level, this is too small, I think. Even though it would fit in with this trend down here, right? Like, for me, it's too small of a pullback. There's too big of a chance that it's going to come back down to, like, here and then make a fight back up and do whatever. So, it's just not my style, if that makes sense. The Elevate CEO, or the Elevate's exec, says company is seeing demand for emergency room services from ACA members at nearly 2 times compared to the commercial group members. So we are bouncing a little bit at 50. We'll see if we keep doing it. All right, guys, heading into the opening bell today. It looks like Powell's going to finish his term. We don't know for sure yet, but it looks like he will. Yeah, we did get the 50 bounce pawn. You were right. A little bit too short term of a bounce for me, though. But still in this upward trend. Like this trend right here. Still in that upward trend. Yeah, well, no, the 150 level that I drew here is from this right here. Like, look, from the previous high of the day, right? Like this level. But even with it, it's just kind of like, I don't know if this is enough for me. I scalp, so I probably could take it, but I don't know. I tend to like buying dips like this more, you know. Everybody's different. Trading is such a big range of differences in how people approach him. I doubt he'll get fired. You never freaking know. He could get fired, but it's unlikely. I think the closer we get to his term ending, the more likely it is that they let him finish his term organically. But again, let me know what you guys think. Do you think he'll stick around till the end of his term, which is May 2026? Kugler is also speaking right now. Wait, Kugler? I thought Kugler didn't speak until 10. Kugler. Oh, I don't know who Kugler's speaking with. Let me check it out. It's a housing partnership network event. I don't see anything going on. I don't know when Kugler speaks. Alright guys, so we did break under 150. Let's see if we get down to 135. I might buy it. Yeah, I mean, technically he can't directly fire him, but he can put political pressure on him for sure. But again, I think it's unlikely. Yeah, TSM reported early this morning at like 2 a.m. And they did really well. Good outlook, I think, is driving it, but a lot of stuff. Jim Cramer. It'll be chaos. Yeah, exactly, Faye. I don't see it either, but it depends on how much political pressure they want to put on him. It's possible. It depends on how much pressure. I'll put it this way. I think today's economic reports validate Powell's stance a little bit more. And so I think that puts less pressure on him to do it. I think if we would have had really weak retail sales, really high jobless claims, really weak Philly Fed data, I think it would certainly put more pressure on Powell to cut and put more pressure on Powell's stance overall regarding the FOMC and the rate cut outlook. But since the data came in stronger than expected and jobless claims were lower than expected, retail sales were higher for both core and regular retail sales. Philly Fed index was way higher than expected. I think all of that kind of, again, validates what Powell did a little bit more, his stance. And again, I'm neutral on all this stuff. I think you could probably argue a rate cut based off of a negative GDP print for quarter one 2025. I think you probably argue one. But I also understand waiting, and I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I also fear inflation a heavy amount too. So again, I'm somewhere in the middle right now. And again, this is subject to change. Like, all I can do is look at the economic reports that I see presented and try to make an outlook, bet based off of that. And so right now I'm somewhere in the middle. I think you could probably argue a small cut as long as we diversify with QT. I think that's fine. Or I think you could argue no cut at all, and in QT would be another thing, right? So diversified. I fear inflation more than everything else, though. So I would rather have price stability as well. And so I understand that part of the Fed, but I also understand wanting rate cuts and stimulating the economy and all that stuff right now, especially in the landscape of tariffs, which can negatively impact inflation as well as the economy on both ends. So but I don't think it's super easy right now. I think it's somewhere in the middle. And I think it's really political right now as well. So, right, exactly. WT. I think that's probably gonna happen too. What's up, Rusty? Next GDP, I think is it might be the same day as the Fed meeting. Let me see. It's gonna be the first quarter 2 number. May 20. Wait. Last one was June 26th. The next one is July 30th, the same day as the Fed meeting. So yeah, it's gonna be the same day as the Fed meeting, July 30th, in about 2 weeks for quarter 2 GDP's initial estimate. All right, so we're still dipping down a little bit. I'm still watching that 135 level. I'm gonna wait for it if I can get it. Yeah, and I said this earlier, but I think it's much more probable that the president is just, I don't think he's going to fire Powell. I think he's trying to put pressure on him to cut, of course. And I think this is really self-evident, but that's what I think his end game is. I don't think he has plans to let go of Powell. I think he has plans to pressure Powell to try to get what he wants, which is rate cuts. And that's what I think this whole thing is. So... Hey, if you haven't already, follow me at x.com. We post all this breaking news here. So we posted all these economic reports. You can kind of see jobless claims, retail sales, core retail sales. We posted it. We also post earnings, all the big earnings that happened today. We post a pre-market breakdown of everything going on. So check us out. Here's the level I wanted. Oh, I missed it, guys. I missed it. I'm kind of mad about it. There's the level. I missed it. I got to add to it now, I think, as well. I'm kind of mad here. This is 6 contracts. I wanted 135. I waited for it all last 30 minutes. Missed it. There's the retest of it, which I don't like at all. I think I'm gonna have to cut this. See if we bounce real quick, but bro, get out of here, dude. Like, stop asking me about video games at 8 a.m. My son over here just chipping away at it. Yeah, I gotta sell this now. I'm still kind of mad, but I don't think it would have worked anyway. But now we're probably slightly red on the day. Yeah, we're down slightly, not a lot. But we get back over there, we might retest. We can also attack 125s here. 200 exponential is pretty down there though, so like we went up a lot. At least he accepted it, yeah. Half the time it turns into let's make a deal with my son. All right. All right, chat. We got 14 minutes left. Nasdaq's starting to turn down here, though. Interesting. Kugler says it's appropriate to keep policy steady for some time given low unemployment and increasing pressure from tariffs. So Kugler's speaking right now. Yeah, half the time it's like, let's make a deal. I'm like, no video games. He's like, what about 9 a.m.? And I'm like, nah, it's too early. What about 10 a.m.? You know? And I'll be like, all right, 10:30. And he'll say deal, you know? Done. All right, we're going to buy this now. Start scaling in. I needed to wait a little bit longer, but that's all right. All right, we're getting close to the level I wanted. I wanted a 125. We're at a little bit higher. We're at 128, but it's all right. Let's see if we get a pop. There we go. That's what we wanted. There we go. All right, that's better. Small gains, but green nonetheless. I can probably hold this break even. I don't like it as much now. It's just breaking down too quick. Still green on that trade, but not much. Selling pressure just showing up here. SPY coming down too. Look at that. We got the 200 exponential here as well. We also have 115, I would say, is maybe a level 2, but I don't know if it's worth it to watch. 12 minutes left. He's watching the stream looking for you to take an entry. Maybe. I wouldn't put it past him. He's smart. He knows. Honestly, he's got to know if I'm in a trade, I'm going to be probably more strict on him. And I'm just going to tell him to get out, you know. Alright, so we're just breaking down here. I'm trying to see if there's any catalyst to drive this. It could be Kugler speaking, saying we need to wait, essentially. Kugler said core good inflation is reflecting the pass-through of tariffs. Trade is the main driver of U.S. economic outlook. He said CPI shows inflation broadening across core goods. Estimate of June PCE is 2.5% versus the 2% target. Core at 2.8%, both higher than in May. A restrictive policy stance is important right now to keep inflation expectations anchored, and it's appropriate to keep policy rate of interest steady for some time given low unemployment and building price pressure from tariffs. Inflation remains above 2%, labor market stable and resilient. Many reasons to expect larger tariff impact is coming, and it's appropriate to hold rates steady for some time. Kugler. Wells Fargo suspends all travel to China after exit ban, according to the Wall Street Journal. Kugler's comments are probably pushing market back down. They're restrictive, they're hawkish comments by Kugler, and this is probably what's tanking markets down. Yeah, I mean, I trained him at jiu-jitsu a little bit. I'm not really interested in teaching him how to day trade early. I'll teach him to invest, but day trading is too young. I'm not going to do that. So we made a little bit on our last trade. I'm going to try a little scalping trade here, and I'll add maybe 4 contracts down to 15. But man, I'm just been getting hammered here. See if we can get a pop. There we go. It's better. Right at the 200 EMA though, it's kind of looking. I want to give it a chance to go here, but we're green in every funded account that we have, so maybe I'm hoping today's just not a bad day, but I got to keep it small. Look at TSM starting to fight its way back up, though. Look at TSM. Maybe getting a little stubborn with the upside, but I want to give it a chance to go. I think it's got more room on the upside than the downside now, just based off of how much it's pulled back. Look at TSM go. Let me look at NVIDIA to see what NVIDIA is doing. And NVIDIA's breaking down. That's what's driving this. I think I just got to cut it. I'm probably going to separate myself from this funded account today. I've got multiple, but not really doing the best in pre-market, which happens. I'm going to have a losing day sometimes. Yesterday we made money. I think the day before we made money too. So. He's going to unplug the router if he doesn't get games by 9 a.m. He better not, bro. He knows how much trouble he'd be in. He wouldn't get games for a month if he did that. 100%. I would take him away for like a month, the whole summer. Thoughts on Palantir? I like Palantir long term. Short term, the PE ratio is a little high for me, but it might keep running. It's based off of momentum. But the Nasdaq is just dumping down. Is Kugler still speaking? Let me see. Yeah, Kugler stopped speaking, but I think the market's still digesting the fears of what he said. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 red candles in a row. The whole rest of the summer, I should say. Well, I very much doubt a July rate cut. I have no idea what school of thought indicates that one-time tariff causing extended inflation a bump. Yes, but long-term, no. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what we think. It's all about what the Fed thinks, you know. And we could try to look at it like we're smarter than the Fed. And maybe some people think they are, and maybe you are. I don't freaking know. But it's still a lot, you know. Yeah, I was looking for these levels to hold, and my levels have worked really good in pre-market, but from Kugler, we got so much red pressure that we just didn't hold at any of this levels. Like, look how much red pressure we had show up. So it was honestly pretty volatile of a move. I was also watching TSM run. I didn't look at NVIDIA, and so, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is how it goes sometimes. You just got to limit your risk. Like, like, since I lost them in a couple of those trades, I don't want to lose too much in that account, so I just kind of step away from it and trade one of my other ones. I think that's fine, and I think this is pretty standard in trading. I think you gotta just go with the flow, not get too emotional about it, not try to double, triple your size or anything like that. You know. I'm trying to see any breaking news that might influence things. I mean, we got 6 minutes left. Bitcoin ETFs have added $5 billion in net inflows over the past 10 days. Abbott exec says they expect annual tariff impact to be just under 200 million. Can you explain what he said? He was really hawkish, if you understand what that means. Hawkish means restrictive. He basically said we needed to be restrictive for some time. They're worried about tariff impacts moving forward, and essentially that being restrictive and hawkish is justified right now. Inflation could get worse, and we've seen signs of worsening inflation, is basically what he said. The opening bell is here in 5 minutes. Nvidia's dipping down a little bit under the 200 exponential. Tesla has had a good day earlier. It's pulling back a little bit, but it still broke highs of the day. 325s, almost there, almost at 325s. Yeah, all good, Pedro. No worries, bro. Still around that 200 exponential. We're getting a little too close to the opening bell in 3 minutes or so for me to attack it. I mean, we don't know what the bell's going to be. How can the Fed cut rates if inflation is going up? It's all about what the average inflation is, though, right now. If we had weak economics, it would depend. Like, it depends on the mix. Like, whether the Fed's going to cut rates depends on the mix between the economy and labor market mixed with inflation. PCE, core PCE inflation is really what it is. They look at CPI and stuff, but they specifically look at core PCE inflation. So it's a little different, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it depends on how they can cut rates if inflation is rising, if we have really weak economics, or they can cut rates if we have really low inflation. You know, you need one of those two to justify rate cuts to a certain extent, and ideally you want both of them. You want weak economics and low inflation, you know, and those sometimes coincide with each other anyway, but that's basically what you need. U.S. retail sales 0.6%. Yeah, you can see it in the yellow right here. NASDAQ still falling down here. Hit 23 ones right now. Man, getting a sell-off ahead of the opening bell. We also probably have the market on open coming if it's not out already. Volcon announced $500 million private placement to implement Bitcoin treasury strategy at $10 a share, aiming to raise over $500 million before fees. Yeah, market just turned to the red side. I'm just kind of waiting now, though. See if we can make some money on our other accounts. All right, guys, less than a minute. Less than a minute. All right, guys, here we go. Here's the opening bell, basically, right now. Here's the bell. Good luck. Let's see if we make some money. What's tearing to the red? I would say probably moving closer to this previous closing price over the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. I would say having 18 red candles in a row right here. You know, but again, subjective definition, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes and let this play out first, though. 4 or 5 minutes. Tesla moving up a little bit, though. You need at least 20 red candles in a row to say that? Yeah, I mean, you know how the chat is. They're trying to find something wrong, you know. If we had 18 red candles in a row and I say we're ripping to the downside, you need 20. I'm wrong somehow. All right, Tesla breaking down a little bit. TSM moving up. NVIDIA flat since the bell. We'll see what happens. Yeah, definitely top 3. Nvidia testing that previous closing price now. Coming all the way back down. ETH surpassed 400 billion, 410 billion market cap. I got yelled at by Schwab. What'd they say? 80? All right, we're almost 3 minutes in the open. I still gotta wait a couple minutes here, and honestly, we're kind of choppy. It looks weak, and there's the breakdown, but I need to wait some time. What did the Fed guy say to make this happen, and why did they hate us? He basically said inflation was elevated. We've seen negative signs for inflation, and like scary signs for inflation, and that we need to stay restrictive. Is basically what he said. Tell Schwab you didn't mean it. Now everything break it down at the open. Deep red opening bell. Doesn't mean anything. It's not red enough to mean we have to stay here. There's 75. Look at that bounce right at 75. Tesla's starting to creep back up. Very flat though. TSM breaking down. Nvidia now technically red on the day. Yeah, I don't know. We're just breaking down now. I gotta wait. I mean, we're 4 minutes plus into the day, almost 5 minutes, but yeah, we are breaking down under some big levels here. But I'm getting to the point where I might start buying it up. I don't want to trade against the trend too much though, so I kind of gotta wait. There's Nvidia cracking lows again. I look for this level 60. We'll try small though. Pretty close to the open still. Might not get 60. TSM still falling. Tesla back up. A lot of stuff starting to come back. I'm gonna buy this. Oh, dude, it retraced right as I bought it too. Well, we're green here, but I'm gonna take that off. Hold the rest flat. Yeah, there we go. All right, just made it, you know, pretty good gain quickly. Buying the 75 dip. I want to way down here. I got filled at like 80. And it looks like we might keep going down depending on what these do. TSM breaking down. AMD breaking down. Where's Apple at? Microsoft falling down too. Maybe not though. We're popping back up. Yeah, I mean, nothing's gonna keep going up for sure. All right, here's 95. So I could short this. Nvidia's retesting that previous closing price too, which is like a milestone level. So this might come right back down. And look, there's the test of 95. Didn't quite catch it. And then there goes Nvidia coming back down. Let me see. I still kind of want to short this. Maybe I should have. There's the breakdown. I missed it. Okay, that's all right. Palantir, where's Palantir at? Palantir 151. All right. Should have shorted it. This 95 level. There's TSM still falling down too. Gap fill here. Kind of want to buy up TSM right now. What do you guys think of that? I'm not telling you to buy it, not an investment professional, but I kind of want to buy it. NVIDIA House China panel to query Commerce Department on NVIDIA China sales. News just came out. Alright, I'm going to buy this. Immediate pushback up for everything. Alright, I'm going to cut it right there. Just very quick gains. Very quick. I see NVIDIA starting to rise. I see TSM starting to rise. We're up $30 or $40 since the opening bell, so not bad, but small. Flat over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Alright guys, 10 minutes after the open, we have dipped down for the first few minutes, and then rebounded back up over the last like 2 or 3. So still down. I'm gonna buy this again. If NVIDIA bounces right here at the previous close, it might retrace back up. If it breaks under 75, I can cut it. So I got like a really easy read here. The buyer's trying to step in right here, but I gotta cut that. Might get balled up again though, yeah. NVIDIA does look like it wants to bounce here. A lot of people are talking about GameStop and AMC. GameStop up, AMC doesn't move at all now anymore. Oh wait, I logged out. Hold on. Should have held that long. I kind of want to buy this again, but it's a little sketchy, but it looks like a good buy. But I'm not telling you what to do, not an investment professional. If you want to check out Top Step, I'll put the link up again. This is what I'm day trading on today. No PDT rule in futures. A great way to learn how to day trade. No PDT rule. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold, some currencies. Patterns are very similar. You can get started for $50, $100, $150, depending on which package. $50 one, if you pass it, you get a 50K funded account. You got to make 3K without losing 2K. Reasonable ratio too. Reasonable rules. Once you're funded, some of the most reliable payouts, no PDT in futures, paid out hundreds of millions, fund thousands, zero commission on Top Step X. I should have bought it, guys. I should have bought it. I put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. I should have bought it here. They're an affiliate or sponsor of mine. I'm biased because I get paid by them. I understand all the stuff on screen. I can't guarantee anything. I should have bought it. I'm still mad about it. Have no idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong. Don't copy me. With that said, though, look at this rip. Tomorrow we got housing starts, building permits, Michigan data. So we got a whole bunch of stuff tomorrow too. All right, so BSTR is launching with 30,000 plus Bitcoin, instantly becoming the #4 largest Bitcoin treasury, backed by Blockstream's Adam Beck and $1.5 billion in funding. NASDAQ and Nvidia fighting back this morning. If we get a dip, I'll buy it down to this 110, 108 level. Doesn't look like we're gonna get it though. Alright, we're gonna buy this, maybe add a little bit more to it. Alright, take half off there, hold the rest break even. There we go. All right, so we've had one losing trade since the opening bell. Pretty good results here. Petrobras CEO says not worried about U.S. tariffs on Brazil and they do not affect the company. All right, guys, we are bouncing up a little bit. Nvidia at 171, 172s here. Where's Tesla at? Tesla at 322s. A little red at the open, but Tesla's been pumping up all for the last 48 hours. Market's kind of choppy right now, though. It's hard to make money today, I think. It's big range on the upside and downside, but difficult nonetheless. I kind of want to buy this, though. Hold on. We'll take one. Just one. If it breaks down too much, we'll sell it. I just want one. Yeah, we gotta just cut it. Lost 10 bucks, very small. Figured out what we want to do with the rest. Where's Rivian? You can see it's got a 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Rivian's flying right now, man. Look at Rivian. 13.15's just hit, just broke highs of the day. Is this just lucid sympathy, or is there some actual Rivian news this morning? Yeah, I was thinking about buying that TSM dip. I'm not telling you guys what to do, not an investment professional, but it looked like a dip. Look at our poll numbers. Should the FOMC cut rates in July? 54% say yes, 46% say no. Yeah, it might be the move. I'm green in one account, red in another, but I'm net red, but it's not a lot. It's less, it's very small. It says we got top fans, but I don't see them commenting any. So how did they become top fans? Jones? I'm looking back. I don't see him commenting at all. How did he get there? Oh, Darren Jones donated twice today. That's why. I appreciate it, Darren. Shout out to you, bro. Sam, number 3. I should have held that long too. Look, getting scared out of trades today, unfortunately. He bought his way in, yeah. Why am I not a top fan? Let's see where you're at, Pew, on the list. I'm looking. You are number 44. Oh, my face has disappeared. I'm here. I think I was about to sneeze and I didn't want to get that on camera. Look, I'm not going to say my TSM call was the greatest call ever. It's definitely top 3 right now, though. I said buy the dip at what? 241s? It's at 244s right now. You know, I'm not going to say you're welcome, but not an investment professional. Don't copy me. I'm not liable. Am I even on the list? Let me check. MC. No. You're not, man. Right now, the top is Jones, Pawn, Sam, Trey, Enrico, Faye, Fender, VIP, Graf, and Ryan. Top 10. Kelly just missed it at number 11. Tiny's number 14. So, just do more work here, guys. That's all I'm saying. Nasdaq still pumping up. I should have held that long, guys. I got scared out of it right here. Still green on this account at least. Yeah, it's a new feature. Hey, Rusty trying to take the top spot with a $10 donation, man. Thanks so much. Rusty, you are now immediately number 1. Shout out to Rusty. Appreciate it. Appreciate the donation. I bought Taiwan Semiconductors. Hey. It's pulling back now. Be careful. I'm not telling you what to do. I have no idea what it's going to do. I would assume if it has really good earnings and dips down, the logical back is to buy it, but who knows, man? It could go either way. I didn't realize your channel had changed to play to win. I didn't even opt for this. They just gave me this, okay? This is all live streaming channels. Now there's a top chat feature. I mean, you can put yourself out there. Most people don't donate. We've only had 3 donations today. And so you can still get the number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spot, you know? And you don't have to donate. It doesn't matter. I don't really, you know. I don't need the donation, to be honest, but I appreciate it. NASDAQ still up to 150 here. Here's 150. We're getting close to the highs of the day here. I will buy this dip. If we get one. Nvidia's getting close to the high of the day, or the previous high. Alright, we're going to buy this dip right here. Small, but nonetheless, we'll take it. There we go. I'm going to add to this now. Take half off there. Immediately. Maybe add back. Alright, we're adding back here. I'm struggling to hold up here though, but I'll buy more if we need to. Alright, we're going to risk some of the profit we've made today, see if we get a follow through this move. I got to be patient with it though, I think. Let's see if we follow through up there. Nvidia's still pushing higher, so I don't mind taking a risk here, letting it work. Alright, almost flat. Let's see if we get up there. Right at the highs of the day. There we go. Let's take half off right there. We made a little bit. We got 3 left. Took another little piece off there. Take another piece off there and we'll hold the rest. Look at Nvidia run. Alright, we'll get out the rest right there. So we made some nice trades here, attacking the range up to the highs of the day. I don't really trust the high of the day break, but I think it's probable that it's going to test it. TSM still heading up to 245s right now. Oh wait, did we get another donation? Fernando, my guy, thanks so much. Fernando's now number 1. Or Fernando and Rusty are technically tied right now. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Appreciate the love. Nvidia shooting up here. Might break highs of the day right now. Or lifetime highs at 173.46 for Nvidia. It's at 173.30s. So 10 cents away from all-time highs for Nvidia. Very, very close for all-time highs for Nvidia here, chat. Let's see if we break. NASDAQ broke highs of the day. Got up to almost 160. Nvidia is very close to highs of the day. I gotta buy this too, right? Let me see. I'm gonna buy 1, maybe 2. 2. Oh my gosh, what a pullback here. It's like picking up pennies in front of a train track right now. I still think it'll work. I think Nvidia's gonna test highs of the day right now. So I'm gonna just add to this and take a larger trade since I'm very green on the day. Alright, so we got 4 contracts. We'll add up to 6, I think, here too. I might be wrong. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. Here we go. We're green. I'm going to take some of this off immediately, but there we go. Now we're safe. Yeah. Come on, Nvidia. You know you're going to break that high up there. Come on. Maybe not. Don't copy me. Yep. The 150 level's playing against me here. Alright, I'm just going to take this off. Lock it in green. We're pretty much flat on the day if you take both counts into account. I think Nvidia is about to break highs, lifetime highs, though. It's too close not to. I might be wrong. I think it's going to drag everything else back up. I think the NASDAQ's going to retest up here. Personally, that's what I think. I might be wrong, but I think, like, psychologically it makes sense. What's the probabilities of us getting within a 10-cent range from all-time highs on Nvidia and not breaking it? I think that's very low. I think once we get really close to that, buys are going to step in. It's going to drag this up higher and higher. But who knows when? It could also be later today. With that said, though, Nvidia is pushing up towards those highs again. Again, might be wildly wrong. Do not copy me. Not an investment professional. Don't copy me. Again, I'm day trading on Top Steps funded account program right now. This is a funded account. I get to keep 90% of my profit first 10K. So if you want to check them out, great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule. Great way to learn. I can watch Nvidia and capitalize on Nvidia breaking all-time highs in the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ is heavily weighted towards Nvidia as well. What's the all-time highs? 46. Oh man, we tapped 45. We got to break it, right? Might be one of the easiest trades right now. I'm not telling you to take it, but it could be any time. We got up to 45, and the high of the day is 46. Lifetime high is 46 for Nvidia. I don't know what I should do here. I think it's very, very probable that we're going to break it. But I also think I've seen it before where we dip down and then we retest it later on in the day. And so you don't know when it's going to break it. I think it's pretty probable we are. But again, not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose. What do you guys think? Here we go. I'm gonna wait. Almost 10 a.m. We don't have anything at 10, right? I think we got a Fed speech at 10. Alright. I'm gonna buy this. 3 contracts. Right here. There we go. I'm gonna immediately liquidate half of it and then ride this up. There we go. I'm gonna cut it right there. I'm attacking the range. I don't really want to attack the high break. I want to attack the range up to the high, which is the easiest thing. And so we're out. Pretty good trades though since the open. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 20, 75% accuracy. TSM's breaking down though. I think that's what's dragging the NASDAQ down with us right now. Look at TSM. Got all the way back up to 245s though. But it's helping move the market back down. Hey, later graph. And there's pushed higher. Nvidia's 20 cents away, 25 cents away from all-time highs. Here's the test of it. Yep. 30. 20 cents away. About 15 cents away. Less than that. Testing it now. Yep. Nvidia is now about 6 cents away from all-time highs. Alright, Nvidia broke all-time highs. I told you guys it was probable. I mean, once we get that close to anything, we got a lot of videos on this detailing this psychology. Once we get that close to any big milestone level, the probability of a big break becomes more, hey, I love you, get out. Okay, I love you, stop bugging me. You've came in here 4 times, man. I love you, buddy, get out. Sorry, I gotta be a little stern with my son. He's not listening. All right, NASDAQ breaking highs. We're at 175. NVIDIA at 173.60s. So, pretty probable we're going to break these highs. He's coming here 4 times already. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, he's got to learn he can't bug me during these. You know, he's got to figure it out. Who profited from this move, though? New all-time highs on NVIDIA, 173.64s. Still making moves up. He doesn't want to hug. He wants to play video games. He's trying to haggle earlier video game playing time. That's what he wants. Yeah, pretty probable for this high to break. That's why, like, you see when I attacked it, I attacked the range up to it. Like, I don't really want this. Too many times we'll break a big milestone level and then we'll just fall down. We might keep running. It doesn't mean we're not going to. Nothing's in absolutes in trading. There's always variance. But my style, at least, is like I like to attack the move up to the highs versus the high of the day break. You know, the high of the day is at the top of the range. But a lot of the time, the closer we get, the more probable it is of a test. Maybe we don't break significantly, but we might break it slightly and then sell-offs happen from people taking profit. Doesn't he have easy access to video games? We don't let him play early in the morning. Like, I don't want him waking up playing video games. He won't eat breakfast. He won't do anything if we let him play too early. And so he's trying to come in, and he knows I'm busy, so he's trying to ask me while I'm working, hoping I'll be more lenient. If anything, I'm going to be more strict on him right now. But that's what he's trying to do. And I told him already, maybe 10:30. It's 9 a.m. He's still got an hour and a half. He'll be all right. Yeah. I was on that Mortal Kombat early, you know. That's Sonic early. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. NVIDIA breaking all-time highs, now pulling back. Again, if you want to check out Top Step, link is pinned to the top of the chat in the description. Great way to learn how to day trade. You could capitalize on moves just like this if you're good enough. Can't guarantee anything. Not an investment professional. Tomorrow we got building permits, housing starts, Michigan inflation expectations, and consumer sentiment data at 10. So a lot of stuff tomorrow as well. Busy week. Yeah, authoritative parent is always good. You know, that's what I try to be. I try to be authoritative. No, I'm not too strict. I'm not mean. I always tell them, like, hey, look, everything's okay. But I also set boundaries. You know, I try. Hey, y'all be good. What's up, Lolo? Yeah, I'm doing adult video games over here right now. Trading. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day.